Welcome to Tiana Daily. I'm here with Lady Macbeth, the Lord of the Flies, and the Crucible.
Thanks, Tiana.
So guys, tell me how your gender roles affect my community.
So the gender roles in Macbeth relate extremely well to today's society. For example, Lady Macbeth is always really pushy towards Macbeth and insults his masculinity. We can see that today a lot. Men are always pushed to be strong-willed and strong-minded, but it always simply isn't the case. Women are also seen as very weak and weak-minded. For example, the expressions we have nowadays, like, oh, you throw like a girl. That's very stereotypical, really. I mean, it goes back to the gender roles of Macbeth. Well, Lady Macbeth and Macbeth actually experience a gender role reversal. This is when one character actually plays the opposite role. Lady Macbeth plays the dominant character, where you would think Macbeth was because he was a man, and during this era, the men were the dominant roles in relationships. Lady Macbeth actually insults Macbeth's masculinity at certain points during the play. This proves how much of a dominant character Lady Macbeth is. Lady Macbeth's hunger for power also shows her masculine traits. At that time period, most of the men were in power. There were no women in power, so Lady Macbeth's drive for power just proves how masculine she is. She wanted to kill Duncan, and Macbeth was skeptical. Lady Macbeth had her mind made up, so she kept pushing Macbeth to kill Duncan.
Wow, thanks for that insight, Macbeth. How does your gender roles affect my society, the Crucible?
Tiana, as you can see, in the Crucible, the gender roles are very specific. The men in the society are very leadership strong, whereas the women are very homely and take care of their family. Abigail, on the other hand, had a very strong leadership role, which was very uncommon in her society. For example, you can see this when she becomes an official of the court. People begin to choose her judgment over the other people.
I never thought of that, the Crucible. And how does the Lord of Flies affect my society?
Well, Tiana, the Lord of the Flies relates to your community in many ways. The first way you can see this is when we look at Piggy. Usually, men are supposed to be really strong and going out and hunting, but Piggy stays on camp, and he takes care of the little ones. You can see this, that he is becoming more motherly instead of being masculine like the other boys.
Wow, thanks, Lord of the Flies. Tell me how your gender roles affect my community.
Near the end of the play, Macbeth and Lady Macbeth switched gender roles, as before Lady Macbeth was a more masculine person in the play, but now Macbeth was, as he killed Macduff's wife and son and went on to fight the English army. Lady Macbeth took over control when Macbeth was feeling guilty and could not go back to Duncan's chamber to return the daggers to the dead bodies of the guards. Lady Macbeth uses her female roles as she faints when she hears about Duncan's murder during the night, and she faints and then acts like a damsel in distress. Also, your show is amazing to be on.
Thanks. Thanks, guys, for coming to the show.
You're very welcome, Tiana.
Tune in next week while we figure out who the dominant character is in 50 Shades of Grey.